That's a wide body beat. That's a wide body beat. That's a wide body beat.
Hey, so this is what losing in Charlotte looks like. They go to Dallas Cowboys. Take your asses back to Texas. This ain't Texas. Y'all couldn't hold them. Take your ass to the airport. Peace out, motherfuckers.
I would like to record all so the next time.
Hey, peace out, Dallas. Peace out. Panther Nation, what's good? Welcome back to Carolina's Armchair GM. I am your host, CJ. All right. Hey, Panther Nation, as you all know, all right, the Panthers defeated the Dallas Cowboys 30-27 yesterday at the bank. I was there. Now, mind you, okay, this is the first time I've ever gone to a game that included the Dallas Cowboys. I should have listened to my wife and left about 30-45 minutes earlier. Left about 11:30. Mind you, I only stay about a good 15 minutes away from Bank of America Stadium. 10 if I can catch all the lights. But anyway, and yeah, man, we missed the first two drives. We didn't get to our seats until the third drive of the game. I think Dallas had the ball. Okay, so it was he said them Dallas kids. But it was a minute before we could even get to our seats. It was stuff everywhere. And then, Google tried to tell us a faster way to go. And yeah, it was not the faster way at all, whatsoever. So it took us forever, and I mean forever, to get to the stadium. Even took us forever to get out of the stadium. Okay. But I always say God puts you where you need to be, right when you need to be there. And luckily, we were coming out of the parking deck right when the Cowboys buses were leaving, and I got to make that that little video, courtesy of my Meta glasses. But yo, man, when I tell you now, mind you, I had some of the nicest Dallas fans I could have ever had for sitting right in front of me and my wife, and on the other side of my wife too. He bought Panthers season tickets just so he could make sure he had tickets to the Dallas game. Okay. But like I said, it was a lot of Dallas fans in there. It was rowdy. But shout out to all the Panthers fans that showed up as well. Okay. But yeah, man, it's been a wild day, looking at the highlights and stuff. That is not as not as good as the Atlanta game was, and in some ways I'm not even gonna say as good as the Dolphins game. Okay, Dolphins game had a major comeback. It was good as far as the rush defense. We gave up 19 yards to the Dolphins and 31 yards to the Cowboys. Some big plays were given up, by the Panthers defense. Okay, not in the run game, but definitely in the air. Okay, but still, overall, a great game, and I'm glad that I got to see so many Dallas Cowboy fans with their long faces going out of the stadium. So many ladies had on knee high cowboy boots and their little Dallas Cowboy jersey / dress outfits on, and the cowboy hats and stuff. And let me tell you, it was so beautiful watching them walk out with their heads hanging low. Okay. And and it's funny, my mother-in-law is a Cowboys fan. Shout out to you, Mom. How you doing? If she's in there watching this right now. But in that little clip I had earlier, she was in the back seat just talking junk to me. She told, I want to record all the times you do this and that and the third, and then show it to you. I was like, okay, Mom. But yeah, man. Hey, great game, great game, and we're gonna get into it here in a minute. All right. But first of all, okay, before we get into anything, as always, okay, on your way in, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I am now 59 subscribers away from my first goal of 2,000 subscribers. All right. I appreciate all the love and the support from everybody who has and everybody that will in the future. So if you have not, okay, help a brother out. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. And whatever platform you're watching on, all right, be it YouTube, Facebook, or X, make sure you like and follow as well. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And speaking of thank yous, all right, shout out to the members, shout out to the front office members and the co-GM members as well. Okay. And like I say every week, no matter if you were gifted a membership or you re-up every month, I thank you, thank you, thank you for the love and the support. And if you were gifted a membership, I hope that you would re-up the membership when your membership expires and it comes time to re-up the membership. Okay. So thank you, thank you, thank you to all my front office members. All right. And hold on and wait a minute here. Let me see. Okay. So shout out to Mr. Hunky Dory. Thank you, sir, for the 10 gifted memberships. All right. So those of you who are now members of the front office, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. And again, thank you to my good buddy, Mr. Hunky Dory. As always, man, I appreciate you. Greatly appreciate you. All right. Thank you, Mr. Hunky Dory. Okay. Before we get into this, let me go through some everybody's comments here. Poppin', what's going on with you? All, all hail the chair. Yeah, yeah. My wife was talking about getting me another chair to sit in just when I do the podcast. So y'all might be on the lookout for something new. Maybe. We'll see. I gotta find the right chair first. What's up, Nerve Rash? I just got one thing to say. How about them Panthers? Damn right. How about them? Rico might mess around and run us to the playoffs. Hey, you know what? Let me hey, I'm trying to keep it, you know, I'm trying to keep everything level. All right, I'm trying to keep everything level. But if we can continue to go out and produce like we have been doing the past couple of weeks, I mean, anything is possible, but I'm not saying anything is definite right now. Okay, we still gotta, you know, we got a 2-game winning streak. It's cool, but we still got to see continued consistency from this team as a whole. But I got you though. I got you. Said them Dallas Kia boys gonna get you, man. Let me tell you, I love my Kias, man. I got 2 of them. I even heard I posted that on YouTube on shorts, right? So somebody commented and said that I'd be miserable too if I drove a Kia. And I was like, well, call me Mr. Miserable because I love both of mine. They get me where I got to go, and they get my wife where she got to go as well. But I thought that was hilarious. I was like, I knew it was gonna be one dumbass Dallas fan in there saying something stupid. B. Amos, what's going on with you, big dog? How you doing? Clay, what's going on, man? Keep pounding, Clay. Appreciate you, big dog. Nada, what's going on with you? Another 200-yard coming Sunday by Rico. We are getting spoiled by Rico. He is a #1 runner. Man, let me tell you, we're gonna get into that tonight too as well. M. Moy, what's going on? It always takes a long time to get seats. Man, hey, and it's crazy because the Miami game, and I guess it's not the Dallas Cowboys. They don't travel like Miami doesn't travel like Dallas does. Okay. So me and my son left the house, went to Bojangles, like we got something to eat, got to the stadium, parked, and were in our seat. Now we left at the same time. We left at 11:30. Okay. Left at 11:30. We were in our seats an hour before kickoff. Yeah. So we left at 11:30 yesterday, and we got down to Graham and Statesville, and traffic was all the way up there. If any of y'all know Charlotte, you know what I'm talking about. Graham, Statesville, Dalton Avenue, that little area right there where they're building up. That's how far traffic was backed up for the game. Yeah, it took us forever to get up there. Uncle Leroy said, nephew, somebody call House of Pain because the Carolina Panthers on Curtis. CJ Faye. What's up, Uncle Leroy? The Ice Pack Young was throwing cold yesterday, nephew. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Let me see. Biggest win of the season. So far, yes. Yeah, so, well, let me see. Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that. It might be tied with the Atlanta win, just because they the Falcons. But then again, it is Dallas, so yeah, I got you, I got you. What's up? That's my boy Dan. What's going on with you, man? He said that INT was Bryce's fault. Yes, and so for y'all, those of y'all who don't know, we were talking earlier, and one of my other friends was like, somebody's going to say that I can't wait for CJ's live because somebody's going to say that the interception was Bryce's fault, and of course, my other friend here volunteered to be the one to say it. So appreciate you, man. Oh God. Said we need for Papa Joe to pop up and beat Mike Jackson just today. What the hell? Man, hey, let me tell you. Oh, you know what? No. Let me hold off on that. Because I got a whole slide for that as well. All right, a whole slide. So we gonna get into Mike Jack as well. I said, please talk about why JC not covering other team number one receiver. I sure will. I sure will. Like I said, I got a whole slide for just that. All right. But let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. All right. So, and I ain't gonna keep y'all very long tonight because it's a lot of football still to watch tonight as well. I know the musty pigeons are playing somebody, and then there's another game after. I just can't remember what it was. Okay, so all right. So we got the game leaders for this game. All right. Dak Prescott was 25 of 34 for 3 touchdowns. Bryce Young was 17 and 25, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Okay. 1 pick. That was not his fault. Not his fault. Okay. Javonte Williams, shout out Tar Heels, but got shut down yesterday. 13 carries for 29 yards, y'all. 29 yards. Okay. The Cowboys had 31 rushing yards total. Total, y'all. Excuse me. That is 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row that the Panthers have held an opponent under 50 yards rushing. If any of y'all know when the last time that happened, please let me know because I certainly do not. Okay, I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to do that much digging to try to find that out. And you know what? And I apologize because I still have the Dolphins pictures up here and not the Cowboys. But yeah, you get the picture. My bad. I just now noticed that I did not change this the pictures in the above the scores right here for each one of them. But it's all good. We still won. Okay, so Rico, big Rico Dowdle, 30 carries. I think that's the most carries he's had in the game in his career. 183 yards, y'all. 183. I think the Panthers had like 210 yards rushing altogether. Okay, George Pickens. Let me tell y'all. Okay, George Pickens was the fool yesterday. Oh, sorry, I my mouth right. My bad. George Pickens was a fool yesterday. Okay, 9 receptions, 168 yards, and a touchdown. And look at Rico. Look at Rico, our top receiver as well. 4 receptions, 56 yards, and a touchdown. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. Liu Fau, I guess his name, had 1 sack. We didn't have any sacks. The linebacker for Dallas had 11, 6 solo. Christian Roseman had 6 tackles, 3 solo. Okay, team stats. All right, the Panthers outgained the Cowboys 410 to 292. We had 1 turnover to their none. We had 27 first downs to their 15. Well, each had 6 penalties, but ours resulted in 20 more yards. On third down, they were 5 for 12. We were 3 for 8. On fourth down, we were both perfect. They were 2 for 2, and we were 1 for 1. In the red zone, same thing. 2 out of 4 for each side. Time of possession, the Panthers possessed the ball for almost 5 minutes more than the Cowboys. 32:02 to 27:58. Okay. So again, all right, this running attack by the Panthers has definitely found their stride in these past 2 games. Okay. Definitely found their stride in these past 2 games. Okay. 200 yards rushing in back-to-back games. Do y'all know? Okay. Going into this game, right? Going into this game, Javonte Williams was number 3 in the league in rushing with 440, I think it was like 440 something yards. Okay. He was number 3 in the league, 440 something yards. Okay. So even after his 29 yards, now he's number 2 in the league. I guess it depends on what happens tonight. Okay. But as of right now, while we're talking, he's number 2. Guess who's number 3? Guess who's number 3, y'all? That man right there on your screen, Rico. Rico Dallas, number 3 with 447 yards rushing, y'all. 447 yards rushing. Tell you, the man is out there and he's yo. I don't, and the crazy thing is, I don't know, it's I can't, the offensive line is blocking, playing better. I can't sit here and say it's all Rico, but at the same time, I'm sitting here saying it's all Rico. You know what I mean? I don't know what Dave Canales and Brad Isaac have decided to call as far as play calls and this and that, and or whatever adjustments in the scheme that they have gone to, but it has worked, y'all. It has worked. Okay, because the thing is, when Dallas is rolling and they have their run game and their pass game going, they are a problem. The Panthers did what they needed to do. They shut down half of Dallas's offense. Okay. Now, mind you, they still ended up with 292 yards. All right. Dak had 261 yards passing, but 168 of those came from George Pickens. George Pickens was literally the entire Dallas offense for the most part. Okay. After George Pickens, the next person in receiving was the tight end, Jake Ferguson, with 33 yards. 33 yards. Okay. And then you got George Pickens with 168. 168. Okay. But I'll get into that in the keys to victory as well. Okay. Hey, and shout out to Nakari becoming a member. I think Nakari re-upped if I'm not mistaken. Appreciate you, Nakari. As always, my friend. Thank you. So I think I might have found some music. The last time when Prime was on here, he was talking about Doug, and shout out to What's Up Doug. He was talking about when Doug plays the song for when he gets new membership, and Prime called it twerk music. Okay, so I think I'm going to try and get a clip of the original twerk song. Okay, if you give y'all a clue from the 99 and the 2000 to put up here every time I get a new member. All right, so we'll see. But shout out to you in the car. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. I said Mike Jack, more like no. Oh, it's the great win. Keeping. How you doing, Michelle? How you doing? I said biggest win of the season. Yep. Said Rico on demon time right now. You damn right he is. Hey, he told the Cowboys to buckle up, and they did not listen. They did not listen whatsoever. They were just like, whatever. He said, "LOL, that's about 13 years too late to the original twerk song." Okay, what's the original twerk song? Oh, you know what? I think I know what it is. I can't think of the damn name. Shit. Throw it in the chat for me, the car. But I'm gonna have something up here. All right. So those were the team stats. All right, the game leaders and team stats from the game yesterday. As you can see, the Panthers won 30-27. All right. So the keys to victory. Okay, and if y'all watch my my preview, my preview wasn't live, and shout out to my baby, my love of my life, Nels Creation. She was doing an event over in Hidden Valley, and she set up a tent. It was her first time doing an event. She set up a tent. She set up a laser. She had crafts, cups, cutting boards, little oh God, what's the things you put up under the cups? I got some sitting here. I can't think of the name. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Things you sit the cups on. Yeah, my brain is fried. But shout out to her. We went out there and helped her set up and helped her get going all day. So shout out to my baby Nella's Creations. Oh, and also if y'all want to check out her stuff, go to nellscreations.com. She has all kind of crafts and things on there and customizable things as well for. All right. Okay, so stop the run. Coasters. Thank you, Mr. Hunky Dory. Coasters. All right, she had coasters. She was engraving coasters and all kind of stuff. Cutting boards, cups, you name it. All right, thank you, Mr. Hunky Dory. Okay, so keys to victory. Stop the run, check. Okay, like I said, the Cowboys had 31 rushing yards. All right. I was in disbelief last week when we held the Dolphins to 19 yards. Kind of the same thing again this week, with the Cowboys. I did not think we were going to hold Javonte Williams to 29 yards and the whole team, as a whole to 31 yards as a team. So great job to the defense. Again, and everything I saw week to week, and it's getting better, y'all. Okay, it's getting better. The Panthers gap discipline. Okay, they are where they need to be. The edge rushers are setting the edge. They're not collapsing. They're not getting fooled by motion and trick plays like they were a few weeks ago. So they've locked in. Okay, they've locked in as far as the run game and being able to stop the run. Okay, and I think it's also helped too now that Trevin Wallace has the green dot. Okay, so Christian Roseboom is just like, point, click, go tackle. All right. So he's free to move around. Now, mind you, would I like for them to be a little bit better in pass coverage, especially on tight ends? Absolutely, because tight ends are a group on the offense that has been killing us all season. And I mean, now mind you, Jake Ferguson only had let's see, tight ends had 4 catches yesterday for 41 yards. Okay, which is not terrible, but Ferguson did have a touchdown. All right, he caught the ball over Trevin Wallace extended hand. He couldn't get his hand on the ball. All right, so yeah. All right, stop the run, good. No turnovers. We did not succeed in the no turnover thing. Okay. Now Bryce Young did throw an interception, but let me be clear, that was not Bryce's fault. All right. That ball hit T Mac right in the hands. He should have caught that one, brought that down. It went through his hands, and number 6, the linebacker from the Cowboys, I think Cedric Wilson's name. He jumped and picked the ball off and then took it back down the field. Okay. And again, and you see what turnovers do. It led to the Cowboys getting a touchdown. Okay. And let me say this too. Now, the same hell that we've given Xavier Legette for the drop passes and things that he has done, we have to give T-Mac the same smoke, okay? Because this is not the first drop that he has had this season. He has had, hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see, hold on. I got on ESPN right here. I'm wondering if they will pull up drops. No, they got fumbles. Okay, yeah, they don't have drops. I'll look that up. But he's definitely had a few drops this season as well. And I know if the situation had been reversed and that was Xavier Legette that let the ball go through his hands and got picked off, they would be roasting the absolute crap out of XL right now. They would. So like I said, the same smoke we give XL for dropping passes, we got to give it to T Mac as well. And let me see. Hold on. They just said we better sign Rico ASAP for 4 years. He's only 27. Yes, thank you, Coach. Thank you, Ms. Hunky Dory. Cameron Douglas said Jimmy Horn need more playing time and ready for the Coco return this week. Absolutely. All right. Let me see. T Mac made up for it with 2 TDs, but Legette won't do that. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Fair. Squad down production. T Mac is a rookie. XL isn't. Well, I mean, XL was a rookie last year, and we gave him hell. We gave him straight up hell for all those drop passes. So, yeah, you know what I mean. So we'll see. I said Legette did block well. Yeah. Let me tell you now. I was ready to get on here when I was at the game. After he threw that crazy lateral back to Rico. And then, if I'm not mistaken, somebody said that Rico told XL, I guess, yelled a signal to him or something, told him to give him the lateral on the play or whatever. I'm just glad that, we were able to get on top of that fumble and keep that drive going. Okay. But yeah. All right. So no turnover. Like I said, rookie or not, okay, rookie or not, we expect all our rookies to go out there and be able to catch, like I said, because that was a very catchable pass that he let go through his hand. All right. But still, we were able to recover, as a team. Okay. We were able to recover and still get the dub. Okay. Tackle. I left tackle in white right here because for me, the tackling was I thought was great. Okay. Especially in the run game, they didn't get too far past the line of scrimmage. They tackled everybody else except for George Pickens for the most part. They caught a pass and they were tackled damn near right where they caught the pass, which has been a theme for the Panthers in the last few weeks. Okay. The outlier in this was George Pickens. Okay. And George Pickens is the reason why I'm skipping one here. The one at the bottom, limit big plays, is red. because, like I said, George Pickens was the Cowboys offense for the most part. Okay. Like I said, he had, over half of the receiving yards from Dak Prescott. Okay. So, like I said, I left tackle in white because, the only one who was really breaking tackles out there was George Pickens. Okay. For the rest of the team, they did a damn good job tackling and bringing people down. All right. Like I said, in limit big plays, I had to put that in red because George Pickens was big play after big play for most of the game. All right. Okay. Make Dak uncomfortable. I have this as green because it wasn't the entire game, but I think we made Dak Prescott uncomfortable in key moments. Okay, just like that one touchdown where he slightly overthrew the pass to what's the other tight end name? Shoemaker. Okay, Luke Shoemaker. All right, because you had Pat Jones was rushing and got up in Dak's face, and on that last drive that Dallas had on those screen passes, you know what I mean? We got up in his face and got him uncomfortable on those as well. I think he rushed a few. I think they threw 3 screen passes in a row on that drive. Okay, so like I said, there weren't any sacks on Dak Prescott. We didn't sack him at all, but I do think that we made Dak uncomfortable at the right times and the right moments in this game. Okay. All right, let me get back to some more comments here. That lateral was dumb, almost cost us 3 points. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I'm in the stands, and let me tell you, it's nothing like going to a game. But when you go back and look at it from the TV angle, when you look at it at home, you know things a lot faster because, like in the stand, we're just all sitting there like, what's going on? We all pointing this way, saying the Panthers got the ball. All the Dallas fans pointing that way. They think they got the ball. So it's crazy, but it definitely was a dumb play in my opinion. Dumb play. I didn't either, Mr. Hunky Dory. I didn't either. Because you know what they did? You know what they did? They did the fundamentals. Okay. Like I said, besides the one missed catch from T Mac, okay, and some critical missed tackles on George Pickens. But let me tell you, the defense was definitely fundamentally sound in the run game, in the run defense. All right. The offense was definitely fundamentally sound in the run game. Okay. Bryce was fundamentally sound back there making the plays that he had to make. And again, that's what you want to see out of Bryce. Okay. We running the ball. Okay. It's time for you to throw, make a play. The receiver's open, make a play. All right. So, and we'll get into Bryce here in a second as well. Mrs. Douglas, what's going on? Some of the best receivers in the league drop passes. This is about how they bounce back. Oh yeah. I feel you. But like I was saying though, like I was saying, my thing is I'm not gonna get on here and give XL hell about dropping the ball and not give the same smoke to T Mac as well. We got to do it for everybody. Okay. But yeah, I agree with you. It is how you bounce back. And to be honest with you, and speaking of bouncing back, I do like the way the XL has bounced back since he's come off of injury and has been back in the game. Last week against the Dolphins, okay. And let me see. He caught a. Let me see. Hold on. Let me pick it. He had 2 catches for 11 yards. Okay, but he did have a nice catch on the screen pass that did pick up a first down. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and move on here. All right, Rico. Okay. Now, we all know what Rico has done in the past 2 games. 206 yards rushing against the Dolphins, 188 against the Cowboys. Okay. So as you can see on the picture, I got a picture of Rico in the background, got a picture of Rico top right in the circle. Then I have a small picture of Chuba Hubbard, okay, up under him. And my thing is this. Do we have a problem, Panther Nation? Okay. I think it's a good problem. All right. But there's always a way to mess something up. Okay. I don't care how good you think you got something down pat, how good you think it's going to go. There's always a way to mess it up. Okay. And I say that because my thing is this. All right. We signed Rico for a 1-year deal, 1 year, like $3-4 million with incentives and stuff. And he is balling right now. Okay. You have Chuba Hubbard, who signed his $30 million deal. All right. And the thing is, and I guess it kind of gives the Panthers a little bit of luxury right now because they don't have to feel like they got to rush Chuba back. They can sit Chuba down until he is completely, I mean, like fully 110% healthy, get ready to get back in the game. But when that does happen, what is that going to look like? You feel me? What is that going to look like? And the one thing that I hope is that, and I will say this, okay, I will say this. I know Rico signed a 1-year deal and Chuba is our running back one, but if Chuba came back healthy and they continue to feed Rico Dowdle the ball, I would not be mad at that whatsoever. Okay. You know that old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay. And right now, our running game is running on all cylinders. All right. Whether you got a 4-cylinder, a 6-cylinder, 8-cylinder. All right. They are running on every last one of them joints right now. Okay. So my thing is this, me personally, I'm all for keep it the way it's going. Okay. My thing is, I know in my heart of hearts that they're not going to say, okay, well, you know what, with Chuba, you're going to be our third down back now, like Rico basically was for until Chuba got hurt. Okay, so I don't think we're going to see that. My only question is, how is it going to look? Is it going to be, a situation with Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams? You know what I mean? Where there were some drives where, Stewart was the feature back. There was some drives where Williams was the feature back. My thing is, if Rico gets going early, keep giving it to him. If Chuba gets in there and starts breaking off a bunch of tackles, keep giving it to him. Keep feeding it to him. You know what I mean? I just hope that Dave can adjust accordingly. Okay. I really hope he doesn't just completely hit the reset button once Chuba Hubbard gets back and say, okay, guys, well, we're going to go back to doing things the way that it was. No. Okay. Now, mind you, you could say that there was a definite change when K Mays took over at the center spot. You know what I mean? But still, me personally, I think this has a lot more to do with Rico himself and his style of running and how he's going out there and handling his business. Okay. Not saying anything bad about Chuba Hubbard at all. I think Chuba Hubbard is a great back. Okay. But you can't, like I said, I don't know if Chuba will even be ready to go next week. I don't even know if he'll be ready to go the week after next. I mean, we'll see. But right now, you've got to stay, in my opinion, you got to stay with the hot hand. Okay. But like I said, I don't know if this is going to be a problem. But like I always like to say, you never know. And if there's a way to mess something up, all right, the Carolina Panthers are good at finding ways to mess something up. All right. But we shall see. We shall see. All right. And let me go back and let me see. Let me see. All right, start back with Cameron Duckett. The Browns duo is nice on the defensive line and Robinson. See, and wait to get Wharton back. D line is good. I got you. Let me see. Sometimes I think we go in too hard on these players if they are supposed to be perfect. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Evero doesn't adjust when wide receivers are getting cooked. He does not. He absolutely does not. Okay. And like I said, we'll get into that here in a few. I got a slide for that as well. All right. So I'm so tired of mofos saying trade Chuba. Yeah, I've heard a lot of that today. I've heard a lot of that today. And because the thing is, okay, Rico is going to be an unrestricted free agent after this season. Okay, we have Chuba, who already has his deal. You drafted Trevor Etienne in the draft this year. You drafted Jonathan Brooks in the draft last year. Okay, my thing is this. If Rico continues to have the season that he's having, all right, what are the Panthers going to be willing to do, to keep him? And how much is that going to cost? All right, you got to figure that in as well. Are the Panthers prepared to pay that much money for 2 running back? You get what I'm saying? So we'll see. And it could be a situation where, somebody offer him more money and guarantees him, hey, you are our lead back no matter what. You will have no competition. You will have nothing but a running back two to spell you, on third downs and give you a break. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of factors that we got to take into consideration. All right. It's yes, he needs to adjust faster. He really does. He really does. Chuba will be running back two as long as Rico is on the hot streak. I'm with it. I'm with it. Let me see. The red guy 92. What's going on with you? 35 carries too much for one guy. We need both running backs to get 12 to 15 carries. And I'm not mad at that at all. I'm not mad at all. It's just how the carries will be distributed and the situation. You know what I mean? That's what I'm kind of not worried about, but I'm wondering, how Dave is going to handle that. You get what I'm saying? So we'll see. But right now, Chuba's still out. Give Rico the ball and we'll figure it out later. 18 carries Rico, 17 carries Chuba. Okay, I got you. Why trade Chuba? Both got talent. We need the ground and pound from both. One cannot take the punishment of a full season. I got you. I guess. Well, I mean, true. True. If the Panthers are going to run like this the rest of the season, like they've been running for 2 weeks, I feel you on that, Mr. Ungador. I feel you. So run some 23 person. You talking about ETN? Trill one, what's going on? We said, what up, CJ? We got another one. What's good with you, big dog? How you doing? Sunky Dory said, two backs good for blocking, sweeps, fullback passes, etc. We got two great backs. Yes, we sure do. We sure do. Rico and Chuba can be like Stewart and Williams. And I hope that's the plan. I hope that is the plan, but we'll see. Let me see. I meant the defenders, not receivers. I got you. They said they better get prepared. Yeah, they're facts. Facts. They better get prepared. We just need to keep winning. What's good, CJ? I feel you. Let me tell you. Winning is the ultimate equalizer. Winning solves everything. Winning, even makes the Panthers fan base come together a little bit. All right. I stress a little bit. Chuba is probably thankful for the help. Yeah, true. You know, but the thing is though, you know what I mean? And you can't dismiss this. Everybody has egos too. You know what I mean? All we know is what we see from Chuba in interviews, we see from him on the field. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see. Don't forget Dallas and ETN can take some reps for blocking and in the game stuff. Let them take some punishment. I got you. But shoot, to be honest with you, hell, come next year, it'll probably be yeah, I don't think it'll be DJ Dallas. Like I said, if we bring Rico back, we're gonna have 4 running backs. Okay, we're gonna have 4 running backs. We're gonna have Chuba, Rico, Jonathan Brooks, and ETN. Okay, and the Panthers usually only carry 3 running backs for game day, so we'll see how that's gonna go. Because I think the consensus right now is everybody is like, okay, well, which one of these is going to go come next year? But we'll see. I think the bigger question right now is when Chuba gets back, like I was saying, how is this going to look for the rest of this season? Okay. And my thing is, I don't care how it looks. I just care that it works. And whatever they need to do to make it work, whether that's giving Rico more carries than Chuba, or hell, if you bring Chuba back in, he gets more carries. But if he's giving the same production that Rico's giving, I ain't got no issue with it. I just want to win. But we'll see. But I'm not on the trade anybody train right now though. Okay. I'm really, really, really not. You know what I mean? If you had to ask me right now, okay, and I had to make a decision on trading somebody, shoot. It would have to be between ETN and Brooks. If we keep Rico next season. Okay. If Rico signs back with the Panthers next season. All right. And no shade to Jonathan Brooks, no shade to the ETN either. But we'll see. Let me see. No LO 23 personnel said two, got you. I got you. 2 running backs, Chuba and Rico. I got you. Well, to be honest with you, I think you probably see a lot of that. I think you'll see a lot of that. So we'll see. QJ, what's going on? Miami and Dallas got hit with that Rico. All you Dallas fans, pull your skirts and act like. Oh my goodness, yo! That man, let me tell you that was a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Put them both in, run a trick play, confuse the defense. Facts, facts. Nelly, appreciate that. Facts. Yep. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All right. But Rico right now is killing it. Okay, like I said, as of right now, I think before the Monday night games, he sits third in the league in rushing yards. He set a Panthers record for 239 scrimmage yards yesterday. He had 188 yards rushing, and he had 56 yards receiving and a receiving touchdown as well. Okay. Let me see. CJ, I didn't know you could curse that much. Your video of Dallas. Brother, let me tell you, I cuss like a sailor. Okay. Ask the missus. She probably gonna comment here in a second. Ask the missus, ask my mother-in-law, ask my children. Okay, yes, I have a foul mouth, a very foul mouth. All right. But you know, I like I said, I try to keep it smooth here on the podcast. You know, I try to keep it professional, like you know what I mean? But yes, you get me outside this podcast, I'll cuss you slap out. That's true. And here we go. Yeah, bro. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. All right. Rico Dowd, okay, carrying the Panthers last two games. I love to see it. And yes, she is constantly telling me language. Yes, and I constantly tell her it wasn't that bad. Said I was crying for the Panthers like Sealy from the color purple. Man, boy, let me say, Tuesday, you are a mess, dog. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Okay. All right. So I got the picture of Bryce here, and this is the one from the touchdown he threw to T Mac in the back of the end zone where he got away from Ezraku right here. Got back and threw the touchdown pass. And I got on here the Bryce we all want. Okay. And I said on the preview, you know, the thing is we've seen this Jekyll and Hyde version of Bryce so far this season. He'll have a game where he comes out and plays great. Okay, or you know, what I think yesterday was a great game for him from him. You know, I think the latter part of the Miami game was great for him. You know, that first quarter was not so much. Okay, but with this run game going the way that it is, okay, you run the ball. I mean, Rico was out there literally getting 6, 7 yards almost every time he touched the ball. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, he averaged hold on. He averaged 6.1 yards a carry yesterday. 6.1 yards a carry. So you telling me every time that man getting the ball, it's 2nd and 4. Okay? Or if it's 2nd and 10, it's 3rd and 4. So he is getting 6 yards every play. Every play, y'all. All right. So my thing is this. Dave and Brad, is it y'all lean on this, keep this going because it's not going to be this way every game. Okay, it's not going to be this way. I don't know where the Jets rank as far as rush defense. I gotta look that up. Okay, but I do know we're going up against after that Buffalo, who has a pretty good run defense if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so it's not always going to be that way. But when the opportunity presents itself, hand that ball off and get the running game going and make it easier, you know. And I know some people going to get me for saying this, but you know, make it easier on the quarterback. All right. You know, you get them linebackers to cheat up, you get them safeties to cheat up because they're all expecting you to run the ball and do exactly what Bryce did yesterday. When you have an open man, make the play. Okay. He threw passes downfield to Mitchell Evans the first touchdown to T Mac. Okay, you saw him in the second half where he threw the sideline route to Jimmy Horn Jr. Okay, now mind you, the nitpicker in me was like, damn, if he'd have threw that out in front of him, he probably would have ran it for a touchdown. But at the end of the day, you know what? He caught the damn ball, turned around, got his feet up under him, and ran down the field for a little bit. Okay. He had oh goodness, I'm trying to think another long pass that he had. I had to go back and look at it. But Bryce was, let me see, 17-25 for 199 yards and 3 touchdowns with the pick. Okay. My thing is, if he goes out and throws for 200 yards a game and doesn't make many mistakes, and the thing is, and he led drives down the field. Bryce led 6 scoring drives. Okay, we had 3 touchdowns and we had 3 field goals. Okay, so you keep the defense off of the field, like everybody says. The defense was so tired last year. This, that, and the third. Even a lot of people were saying that at the beginning of this year. Well, this is not really the case here lately for most of this season. Okay, because even in some of the losses, the Panthers have outpaced the other team in time of possession. Okay, so as long as Bryce goes down there, you lead these drives, set your team up in position, score points, and don't make any dumb mistakes. This is the Bryce Young that we all want to see. Okay, we're not asking him to go out there and throw for 350 yards a game and 4 and 5 touchdowns. All right, but the next step in his evolution as the Panthers quarterback, and whether or not he'll become the Panthers quarterback, if there is a game where the run game on offense is not, just ripping the other team apart like we have been the past 2 games, okay, is Bryce going to be able to put us on his back and carry us? We're not. I don't think the Panthers want him to go out there and have to carry us every week. Okay, and even some of the best quarterbacks in the game now and in the past, okay, they have had teams and had squads, where they relied on the run game as well. All right, so with Bryce out there, like I said, we keep this run game going and keep, hopefully this is a way for him to build more confidence. All right. So that when the time comes, like I said, and the running game is not clicking on all cylinders like it has been for the last few weeks, and Bryce has to lead us down the field with his arm, he'll be able to go out there and do it. Okay. And I know a lot of people are like, okay, well, it's year 3. He needs to be able to do that already. You know what? I agree. All right. I agree. But it is what it is right now, and we are where we are. Okay. But Bryce Young goes out here and keeps playing ball like he did in the Miami game, minus a couple bad plays in that first quarter. And this entire Dallas game, I'll give him this entire Dallas game. He played a great game. Okay. Got the ball down the field, made a couple plays with his feet. Okay. Escaped a couple key would-be sacks. All right. Threw a touchdown on one. Actually threw a touchdown on 2 of them. The one to Rico Dowdle. Okay. So, but this here is the Bryce Young that Panther fans all want to see every week. All right. Let me see. Okay. Cameron Duckett. I do hope Brooks can work out too, and hopefully ETN don't have a fumbling problem looking at him on PR. I got you. Said, you did right getting on the Cowboys' ass. I've been on them all week saying y'all need a former to beat. So y'all need a former Cowboys to beat us. Does that matter? I got you. Yo, let me tell you. And the crazy thing is, with Cowboy fans, and I said this on the preview. And my mother-in-law did not like me when I said this. I said, Mom, outside of you, I said the Cowboys have the most annoying fan base in sports on the entire planet. Okay, I don't know of another fan base that's more annoying than the Cowboys. Even we were at the event. I was at the event with my wife. Okay, so they had the DJ and they had the MC. The MC was a damn Cowboys fan. He always talking about, I'm going over here to get me some fish. I'm going over here to see what this is. I'm going to go get me one of these Dallas Cowboy aprons so I can watch Dallas beat up on the Panthers tomorrow. I had to sit there and listen to that crap for 5-6 hours yesterday. I was like, yo, I really should have got his phone number. I would have blew his phone up yesterday because it took us about an hour and a half to get out the parking there to get home yesterday. And let me tell you, and I'm just sitting there like, that's my, and the crazy thing is, there are a lot of Cowboy fans in North Carolina because we did not have a team until 1995. So you were either Cowboys, Steelers fans, Redskin, now Commanders fans. Crazy enough, growing up, I pulled for the Buffalo Bills. because where I stayed at, I always saw Buffalo Bills games for whatever reason. You know what I mean? I saw Cowboys games, I saw Redskins games, but for whatever reason, I always caught Buffalo Bill game. So hey, but yeah, but like I said, man, they are annoying. They really are, because they treat us like the little redheaded stepchild that they think, we just gonna come in here and take over. And all you hear is, oh my God, we lost to the Panthers. Oh, yes, you lost to the damn Carolina Panthers. All right, you're trash. All right. Let's see. BY9 is 8th in passing TDs. I believe we have turned a corner as a team, but it's time for Dan to cook up a trade for a premier cornerback or pass rusher. Agreed. Ken 88, what's going on? Said that's 5 stat for Bryce at QJ. Got you. I'm getting delusional again. I believe we can go 10-7 and 9-8. Hey, Panther Nation, don't get delusional, y'all. Okay, we've got to do exactly what the Panthers players have been saying. We celebrate on Monday. It's Victory Monday, and at the end of the day, we put this to the side, and you got to move forward. Okay, I will say the same thing for everybody listening to me right now. Everybody who's going to watch this, take this 1 week at a time. Okay, take it 1 week at a time. As we know, this team is very schizophrenic. Past few years, we'll look great 1 week, and then we'll look bad for 4 weeks straight. Okay, so like I said, I'm not hoping that happens now, but like I said, we gonna keep this one game at a time. Revolutionary Poetry, what's up with you? My bold prediction is if Carolina beats Buffalo at home, they're going undefeated at the bank. That is a bold prediction. You know what? Let me tell you, I wouldn't be mad if we do beat Buffalo at home. Yeah. Hold on, let me see the schedule here, because I know we got to play Tampa, the Aints. So our home schedule for the rest of the year is Buffalo, the Aints, the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Succaneers. Okay, my bad, the Buccaneers. They actually playing pretty good right now. I'm not gonna talk much about them, but yeah, I mean, we could. Hey, it's a possibility. Let me just say that it's a possibility. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, he's thanking Ken 88. Somehow we have the 4th ranked offensive success rate in the NFL. Okay. Mr. Earl, what's going on with you? How you doing? I have bashed BY9 a lot the past 3 years, but that mic'd up video last weekend really made me believe in him. Bryce is younger than Nix, Penix, and a bunch of other QBs in the league. Yeah, this is true. It's true. CJ, after not understanding a comment, I got you. Yeah. You know me well, Nakari. You know me well. They want to bet that let me see. They want to bet that out of be thankful I didn't bet then, and yes, they do have the most annoying fan base. Yes, they do. They absolutely do. Let me see. We look like Halle Berry 1 week and Precious the next week. We gotta remain consistent. Oh, that is crazy, but it's true. I think we beat the Bills or Packers. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. That's gonna be a tough one to beat Green Bay in Green Bay. That is going to be a tough one. Okay, but we'll see. We'll see. Michael Dennis, what's going on? CJ, the Cowboys hate the Panthers low key because Panthers ended the Cowboys dynasty in the 90s, which started their downfall. Oh, you're talking about the second year, our second year when we made it to the NFC Championship game. Yes. Okay. Oh man, I even saw SC Panthers boy. What's going on with you? I even saw a YouTube video. There's a couple. They made a RV, not made an RV, but they bought an RV, and they are traveling across the country to every single Cowboys game this season. And they had a video up about their experience in Carolina. So that was crazy, and I was like, man, bruh, yeah. Now, mind you, if I had the money to do that, it's one thing. But I know me. I hate driving across Charlotte. Yeah, I hopefully I have enough money I could fly to each game. All of it. But yeah. I will say there's definitely some dedicated Cowboys fans. Definitely. Uh, Green Bay secondary is awful. Okay, got you. We can't we can't let Parsons cut up again. Facts. But Parsons hasn't really been cutting up that bad this season as a whole. Okay, because I hear a lot of people talking about the trade, and they're like, well, shoot, well, Parsons ain't really out there just balling and just killing it up in Green Bay. So we'll see. There was one Cowboys fan. There was one Cowboys fan. It was sitting about maybe 2 or 3 rows down from us. He was kind of in front of my wife. He stands up and he yells, "Hey, Kenny Clark, do something. That's why we traded for your ass." I was like, yo. I said, yeah, you're right. I said they did get Clark in that trade. But yeah, they as a whole, they couldn't do anything. They could not do anything. Western Division champs, 2 point to Cowboys. We knocked Deion Sanders out, ice cold out, no movement out. Damn. Mm. Yeah, but I man, I ain't gonna tell you I remember that whole game. I remember parts and well, bits and pieces of it. All right. But again, yeah. Like I said, the Bryce that we all want definitely showed up yesterday. All right. And let's just hope that him and the Panthers offense can continue to keep this pace up that they're going at right now. All right, Rock Jones said the Jets are desperate. Hope we look better on the road this time. I hope so too, because I do not want to be the first team that loses to the Jets this season. Damn sure don't want that to happen this coming up. All right. But I ain't gonna lie though. I ain't gonna lie. After 2 weeks of going to the game, I am gonna be happy to watch the Jets game right here in the man cave. I could just turn. Oh, all right. Let me ask y'all this. All right. Would y'all be open to joining me for a live? It won't be like a live. I'm gonna have it unlisted. Okay. So I'll send the link out, but I'll actually play the football game over the live. Okay. Now, if I go public with it, copyright and all that stuff, I can't do it. All right. But we could go live and have the game playing and discuss everything in the chat where y'all can see what I'm seeing and all that good stuff. So let me know if that's something that y'all want to do, and I could possibly make that happen this week. Okay. So just let me know. And I also I'll write out something in the on a post or on X and see how everybody think. But like I said, it won't be a public live. It'll be unlisted, and it'll have to stay unlisted because you can't stream those games like that without YouTube trying to end your YouTube career. Okay, but we can watch. I've kind of tested this out a little bit. We can watch the game on an unlisted live, and like I said, we can all be sitting here watching the same thing, at the same time. But let me know if y'all interested in that, and I'm not gonna make it happen. All right. So, okay. So I know a lot of y'all were asking about Mike Jackson. So I put the "Is It Time?" Okay, and I got a picture of Corey Thornton down there. Okay. Now, mind you, J.C. Horn went to the coaches on the last drive of the game and asked, could he cover George Pickens? Okay. Now, mind you, I don't think George had a target or anything on that last drive at all. Now, mind you, George did get JC on one play. All right, and that pass that George caught over the middle, going towards the oh God, I want to say going towards the west end zone. That one pass he caught over the middle. JC did dive and he was trying to get the ball, but he missed the ball. Pickens caught it. JC fell to the ground, and then that's when Pickens took off and then did his best hurdle, not impression, but his best hurdle over Nick Scott, and then kept on running. Then proceeded to punch Shaw Smith Wade in the jaw, and going out of bounds. And the yeah, and the refs didn't say anything about that, but oh, and let me tell you, 2 games in a row, the refs were absolute garbage juice trash. I mean, trash, just terrible, terrible. Okay, if you and think about it, it was bad in the Dolphins game. It was worse in this game. Okay, they called a roughing the passer on Christian Rosebone. I'm just like, dude, we sitting there watching the replay, and we like, how in the hell was that a roughing the passer? Okay, but I digress. All right. But hold on, one more comment here. Says don't show the game, just stream your observation and reaction. Everybody else need to be watching the game. I got you. I got you. Trevin Wallace has been balling the past 2 weeks. Yeah, yes, he has. He absolutely has. Him and Rose Boone, both of them. You know, I would say the where they're still lacking is in that zone coverage. Okay, which Evero is not going to miraculously throw in any kind of mixed coverages in there. It's going to be zone. Okay, I don't think he's going to throw in too much, if any, like a combo like zone man coverage in there at all. But we'll see. Said I miss Dante Jackson. Yeah, little bit, little bit. And the rest be shaking ass for Dallas. They were yesterday. They definitely were. Okay, but all right, but Mike Jack, all right. So, do y'all think it's time to give Corey Thornton a little bit more burn on the defense? Maybe some now, mind you, I say situational, the same way that he'll take Nick Scott out of the lineup and put in Lathan Ransom and maybe Demani Richardson, or he'll have Lathan Ransom and Shaw Smith Wade back there playing the safeties, and Trayvon Merrick will be down in that big nickel. Okay. Do y'all think it's time for Corey Thornton to get in the game and possibly play that number 2 cornerback spot? All right. Not saying anything bad necessarily about Mike Jackson, but Tony said this the other day, and it's true. Mike Jackson is a zone corner. Okay, he's a zone corner, but he is not that type of corner that you want to put on the other team's number 1 wide receiver. He is his own corner who probably more than likely needs a safety over the top. And you could see some adjustments in Evero's defense throughout the game. Okay, where I was looking and I was like, damn. And I seen Trayvon Merrick, go over to his side of the field. You see Dak hike the ball, look straight over to George Pickens. He had Mike Jack and the safety on him, then he looked back the other way. But I promise you, y'all, I promise you, damn near every time Mike Jackson was on George Pickens and he had no safety help and he was on by himself, Dak looked his way first and most of the time threw his way. Okay. So there was that long touchdown pass that Mike Jack gave up. There was the one that actually JC gave up, the first one, that first long play that Pickens had. But throughout the game, they were no pun intended, they were picking on Mike Jackson, and rightfully so. If I was Dallas offensive coordinator, on every play, if I'm looking and seeing where Mike Jackson is at, that's where I'm sending. Depending on the play, that's where I'm sending my number 1 wide receiver. Okay. So, but we'll see. But let me know what y'all think though. Like I said, I don't think Mike Jack is a terrible cornerback. You know what I mean? But J.C. Horn is our number 1 cornerback. Okay, he's getting paid damn near $100 million. That man needs to go out and travel and play the best wide receiver on the other team. All right, and I need Evero to be able to adjust to what he's seeing from Mike Jackson during the game a little more quicker. All right. Like I said, I don't dislike Mike Jackson. I think he's a damn good cornerback, and I think he's very serviceable. But if you see Mike Jackson having trouble with somebody's wide receiver the first couple plays, you might need to put it in your scheme to go ahead and roll some coverage his way for the majority of the remainder of that game. All right. And it was another game where the Panthers didn't really blitz a lot neither. Okay. We saw them blitz quite a bit versus Atlanta. Haven't seen them blitz a whole lot much since then. Okay. So it's not like you're sending all this personnel on the blitz and Mike Jack is out there stuck 1-on-1 because there's nobody else to help. You get what I'm saying? So, we'll see. Now, mind you, I think Corey Thornton is a more physical receiver. I think, and I know we play zone. Okay. But I think he can get up and get in the faces of these wide receivers. And I don't think he will, get, let me see. I don't think he will get turned around quite as much as Mike Jack does. Okay. Mike Jack will get, will kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? He will, go back in his set and, they get his hips going the wrong way and then they out, especially on that touchdown catch that Pickens had. He got them squared up, turned them, caught the pass, out, and then actually ran through the rest of the secondary as well. All right, but let me see what somebody said Mike Jack can't beat it. Okay, here we go. No. All right. Squad Down Production says yes, sir. B. Amos said Mike Jack can't beat it. Glad to see Wallace doing good, but upgrade Rose Boone with an all-pro middle linebacker. I got you. I got you. I got you. Now, mind you, I don't think Rose Boone will be a bad option situationally. Okay. But we also need somebody else in there, who's better at coverage. If we're gonna continue to run this scheme like this, we need somebody who is good in the run game, but can also get back in that zone and cover because they leave too many gaps, too many holes for wide receivers and tight ends to sit in this zone and wait for the opposing quarterback to throw on the pass. Mike Jackson was getting fried by George Pickens. So George Pickens was cooking hibachi. Yeah, he really was. He really was. Mike Jackson is fine. He's a number 2 cornerback. Blame Evero for not letting JC travel with the other team's best corner. Facts. Okay. Facts. I agree with that. I agree. Mike Jack losing confidence. Garrett Wilson will be out this week. We should dominate this weekend. But you know what though? I don't think they're losing confidence at all. My thing is we look at the gameplay on the field and we say, okay, well, you know what? Well, this is what Mike Jack got. He ain't gonna do much better than this. And I say, you think that they know this too, especially the coaches. You get what I'm saying? Mike Jackson is not the one that you want on a speedy wide receiver. Okay, they're gonna burn him all game. All right. George Pickens is no slouch. George Pickens is not slow. Okay. But then the thing is, George Pickens is also a bigger receiver. Okay. So Mike Jackson can't really bully him like he does some of the other receivers that he's faced so far this season. Not gonna say that he completely bullies them, but he does use his size and his frame. Okay. But at the same time, Mike Jackson is not able to move, and be able to keep up with some of these wide receivers. If they get Mike Jack's hips turned the wrong way, he's done for. He's done. It's over. Call him to come pick up the body. It's a wrap. So we'll see. Mike Jack needs to step it up. Yeah. What and you know what? In certain situations, yes. But like Revolutionary Poetry said, sometimes I think it's on Evero to make sure down distance situational football. It's like, okay, we need to make sure that we have them in the best positions. And that's also, like you said, hell, and the crazy thing is, JC Horn, I guess he finally had enough. Okay. He went to the coaches and was like, hey, let me cover Pickens on this last drive. I guess they were smart enough to be like, okay, cool. We got you. And my thing is this, and I'm like, and shout out to some of these players too. You see Rico did it last week. He went up to the coaches and like, hey, can you run this play? I think this play will work. I think we need more of this from some of these Carolina Panther players. If y'all see things that are going on out in the field that you don't think the coaches are aware of, or don't think they can see in real time, hey, speak up. Say something. I love to see. I love to hear these stories about the players saying, "Hey, coach, can I do this? Hey, coach, can I do that?" Like JC Horn, that's your or damn near $100 million, cornerback. Yes, coach, let me go take him. So, but I love to see it, man. Rico jersey is sold out. Only size is in a 4XL. Damn. I'm a big dude, but I could use that as a little bit of a blanket. Let me see. Got to make sure he's still on the team to get his jersey. Mike Jack keep on getting cooked. He's going to have to moonwalk to the bench. The Red Guy 92. I get JC Horn not traveling because of scheme, but why in the world is Mike Jack on Pickens without any help? Facts. I thought the point of JC not traveling was to cheat coverage towards Mike Jack. But now with that, I do not know. But I agree with that first part. If they are going to have him out there like that, and my thing is, it would have been crazy if CD Lamb was out there. So you got CD Lamb, and Mike Jack. Okay, so JC Horn would have been on a good receiver no matter what, damn near every play. But even still, though, even still, down distance situation, Evero has got to do a better job, like you said, of getting Mike Jack some help. Okay, he's got to do it. Absolutely has to. But we'll see. We'll see. But me personally, though, excuse me, I would not mind seeing a little bit more, of Corey Thornton in the game. And right now, Shaw Smith Wade is our nickel cornerback. And like in certain situations, Trayvon Merrick plays that big nickel spot. You'll see Shaw Smith Wade back at a safety. Him and Nick Scott, him and Lathan Ransom. So they'll Evero does switch that up as far as those schemes and configurations and whatnot. But yeah, it is. I think it's getting time to have a little bit of a conversation about Mike Jackson, not getting rid of him or anything, but how Evero plays him. You get what I'm saying? So we'll see. Let me see. We might need to call the Bengals and go get Hendrickson. Hendrickson just got hurt. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Okay, so that takes that off the table. All right. Let's go ahead and move on here. All right. Stock up. Okay. Again, another see, Michael Dennis said, keep in mind Thornton is not fast either. Yeah, not saying he's a burner, but from what I've seen out of him, he's a little bit more of an aggressive defender. He will get up in the wide receiver's face. And like I said, Mike Jackson just kind of to me, it's like he's more reactive. I mean, in the cornerback position as the whole, you're reacting to whatever the wide receiver is doing. But it's like to me, okay, it just looks like Mike Jack is back there waiting too long for everything to happen on a lot of these plays. You get what I'm saying? And by the time he figures it out, the play is up. The play is over. So, that's just. But I agree with you. But that's just my thoughts on that. Oh, Miss Sunky Dory said Fitzgerald stock up. Yes. All right. Definitely Rico. All right, Rico stock still rising. Okay, this week stock up. Bryce Young, stock up the Panthers run defense. Okay. Stock up. Stock up the tight ends. Tommy Tremble, Mitchell Evans. Okay. Stock up Jimmy Horn Jr. again this week. I mean, just a couple catches, but definitely got some yards. Move the ball down the field. He did get a I want to say another jet sweep this week. Picked up no, he did pick up a first down. He was close to picking up a first down. All right. Let me see. Goodness. Who else? Stock up to Dave Canales, sticking with the run game. Okay, stock up to him. I said stock up to the run defense. I'm thinking anybody else that I am missing. Oh, stock up to Trevor Wallace and Christian Roseman. Okay. Now I know, like I said, they have had their some slight deficiencies as far as pass coverage. Okay. But when I tell you those boys are balling in this run defense, okay, they are balling. They are reading, they are reacting, and they are flying to the ball carrier. Okay. Because as much crap as I've given them early on in this season, this run defense would not be how it's been the last few games without them two. Okay. It really wouldn't be without them. They are flying to the ball. Trevor Wallace, since getting the green dot, I don't know. Like I said, I think it's more beneficial for Rose when it's like point and click. He's not out there trying to get everybody in position. And you could tell in some of those games, Roseboom will be out. You see him jumping and waving his hands and, doing this. I didn't see a lot of that out of Trevor Wallace this week nor last week. And I don't know what all that is behind the scenes, but it's working and I like it. All right. Mike Dennis said fair. Okay, I got you. All right. Stock down. Oh, hold on. And I meant to mention, yeah, my bad, Miss Hunky Do. I kind of said this and passed over, but stock up to Fitzgerald. Okay. Stock up to the kicker. He made 3 field goals and the game winner. And the crazy thing was, okay, so in the section we were sitting in, we could feel the wind a little bit. The wind was really blowing down there on the field a lot harder than it was where we were at. Okay, so shout out to him and being out there and able to make all those. He had a 55 yarder, if I'm not mistaken, going into the wind. But I think the wind was behind him, but the wind was blowing towards the visitor side. Okay. And the crazy thing was too, I mean, people, I don't know if people were doing this on purpose or if everybody that was sitting close to the rail up in the top section. Let me tell you, there was stuff floating around Bank of America Stadium the entire game. Nothing but potato chip bags and the little packets that, just stuff comes in, little plastic. I mean, just floating everywhere. It was wild. Stuff made it down on the field. I saw something hit somebody in the head. It was wild. It was crazy. But yes, but stock up to Fitzgerald, especially for the game-winning field goal. All right. Miss Uncle Dory said Horn is very fast. He's getting used to NFL game speed and physicality. He is still under weight to me. Worried he gets snapped into. Well, let me tell you. Hey, look, if Bryce ain't got snapped into yet, hopefully Horn will be okay. Look, I got the agreement on the other side of the wall here. Oh no, my bad. She said, hey, Claire, how you doing? Says, hey CJ, I just emailed you back earlier. I will be in touch. Sorry for the delay. You know what? I saw your email about a minute before I went live, so I got you. Appreciate you. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to stock down. Okay. And I would have to be honest with you, Mike Jackson, stock down for, I hate to put him on there, but he did not play up to par against George Pickens for most of the game. Okay, most of the game. I'm also going to have to say stock down, to Evero zone scheme. You know what I mean? Because like I said, the tight ends just keep killing us. Okay. Stock down to our pass rush. Okay, stock down to our pass rush because again, we were not able to get Dak Prescott on the ground. We were able to get in his face and get a hand on him a couple times, but we were not able to get him to the ground. Okay, so slight stock, well, not slight, but stock down to the pass rush as well. All right, Panther Plug, what's going on with you, man? How you doing? I appreciate the $5 super chat. Thank you. That Trayvon Merrick a sneaky stock up for me. You know what? Yeah, I would agree with that one. Him and oh my God, him and Trevin Wallace, those tackles that they made on those screen plays on that last drive were great. They were absolutely great, absolutely. But I got you, man. Appreciate the $5 super chat, big dog. Said K said, what do you think about our run defense? I feel Ashawn hasn't gotten his flowers yet for a good play recently. You know what? You absolutely right. Absolutely correct. The thing is, and we seen it earlier this year. We seen the same thing. It's always gap assignment. Okay, it's always gap assignment. People out of the right position. DJ Johnson, was cut because of the performance that he had in New England. Okay. But yes, Ashawn is definitely one of these guys. Him, Derek Brown, and Bobby Brown. Okay. I would love to see Bobby Brown play more at the defensive tackle spot, but that's what Ashawn has been playing, and I got to give Ashawn props. Ashawn has been doing his thing. Okay. He's actually gotten to the quarterback a few times, gotten a couple of sacks, but on all of these running plays, okay, well, not all of them. But the majority of these running plays, you're seeing Derek Brown making the tackle. You're seeing Ashawn Robinson making the tackle. They're making tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Okay. And, some of these plays actually running the players down. And the big guys are being able to kind of run the players down from behind because you know why? Because the defenders, the edge rushers, everybody on the outside are staying in their lanes and they're keeping up with their containment, and these guys are being able to make the plays from the back. Okay. So yeah, but shout out to Ashawn Robinson. And tell you, shout out to Bobby Brown the third too as well, because like I said in the last video, he doesn't get moved backwards a lot. Okay, when Bobby Brown gets in the game, he is, I ain't gonna say manhandling a lot of his opponents. him and Derek Brown have been manhandling quite a few of them. I'm not gonna say he manhandles all of them, but Bobby Brown will also get penetration into the backfield as well, something that we sorely lacked last season. Okay, not for any Shy Tuttle hate today, but it is what it is. But yeah, but shout out to Ashawn. You're absolutely right, Ken 88. He is a big part of this run defense this season. Okay, and the crazy thing is, I was not a fan of him being, defensive tackle because it was like last year, if I'm not mistaken, Ashawn came in and was like, nah, I'm not defensive tackle. I'm gonna be playing defensive end spot. But now he's playing defensive tackle, and mind you, and they rotate him around. Okay, they rotate him around. You'll see Deshaun Robinson out at defensive end spot. You'll see Bobby Brown at defensive end. You'll see Bobby Brown is nose tackle. You see Ashawn Robinson nose tackle. Now, the one person I don't see at nose tackle a lot is Derek Brown. Okay. But I think that's for good reason. Derek Brown is, doing a good job at the defensive end spot. All right. So we'll see. Let me see. Aries Clash says, I think it goes without saying, but stock even further down for a Jonathan Brooks return. Rico has earned a lot of credibility over just 2 games. Yeah, we talked about that earlier, Claire. I don't know if like I said, I think we have a problem. I think it's a good problem, but like I said, anything can go south, and I just hope that the Panthers don't mess this up. If Chuba does return, we talked about how what the load will look like as far as carries, for Chuba and Rico. My stance on it is if Rico is continue the ball like he's been doing, you keep giving Rico the majority of the carries. Okay. And Chuba is gonna have to deal with it. All right. If Chuba gets back in the game and starts balling like Rico has been doing, I mean, well, hell, okay, you get the ball to Chuba. But I slightly was sort of talked about the scenarios for next year because a lot of people are already now saying, trade Chuba, trade Chuba. So next year is gonna come, we're gonna have, if we get Rico Dowdle back, we're gonna have Rico, Chuba, Jonathan Brooks, and Trevor Etienne. Okay, so we're gonna see how that all pans out as well, too. So we'll see. But thank you for the comment, Claire. I appreciate you. Let me see. Young Soldier 1. Stock up Dan Morgan for this draft class. You know what? Let me just go back to the stock up slide. Okay. stock up Dan Morgan for this draft class. Yes. Yes. Because now everybody in this draft class has participated and contributed. T Mac, Scorton, Umar Yellen, Mitchell Evans, Trevor Etienne, Jimmy Horn Jr. Yeah. This entire, and if I miss somebody, let me know. But this entire draft class has absolutely. Yeah. Hey, stock up Dan Morgan. Panther Plus said, I think we should still split carries personally, but use Rico as more of a receiver when Chuba is back. What do you think? Like I said earlier, I'm with everything, anything that works. I would love to see like Nakari said earlier, 23 personnel with both of them in the backfield, at the same time. You know what I mean? And we can work on some plays like that. But yes, I think Rico's ability to catch the ball. Now, mind you, Chuba is not a bad receiver out of the backfield, but Rico, I think, to me, especially with his receiving and his running, his contact balance, his ability to break tackles, keep plays going. You know what I mean? Chuba Hubbard to me is more of a, north and south runner. He can make the cutback at times, but if it's like if the hole is if the hole is over in this gap, that's where he's going. The cutback has to be as wide as all of I-85, for Chuba to cut back and take the ball and go the other way with it. You know what I mean? You see Rico, he gets the ball and he sets up his blocks. He not nearly hesitates, but he takes enough time, like, all right, bet, I'm going here. Okay. But and the thing is, like I said, his contact balance, his ability to break tackle, stay on his feet, keep the play going, yards after contact. So we'll see. Like I said, whatever works. But if splitting carries between them, I'd have no issue with that. But my thing is, whoever has the hot hand as far as who's ever running better in that game, make sure they get the majority of the carry. Okay. So yeah. Let me see. Hunter probably get cut when Coker come back. Y'all think so? You think they're gonna cut? Well, you might. Well, shit, they cut him one time and then had to bring him back because Coker got hurt. So yeah, it's a possibility. Yeah. Let me see. Doesn't get moved back a lot. I thought you were talking about Tom. Oh, I'm gonna send this to him. Oh man, I think he said he was gonna try and make the recap, but he sleep, man. Let me tell you, it is. God, it's about 3 in the morning over there right now. Yeah, he sleep, dog. Yeah, appreciate you, Panther Plug. Falcons 14, Bills 7, end of the first quarter. Okay, got you. All right, well, cool. Well, speaking of that, well, that's all I have for everybody tonight. We'll go ahead and get y'all on up out of here. All right. But as it says right there, how about them Panthers? All right. The Dallas Cowboys and all their fans come into town and leave with long, sad faces. All right. Let me tell you, you couldn't have told any of these Cowboy fans, I mean, any of them, that they would want to lose to the Panthers. They just knew they were going to come in here and be 3-2 going back home. But now they are 2-3-1 and gone back home. All right. The Panthers are 3-3. I think this is the first time the Panthers have been a 500 football team since the Cam Newton game back in Arizona when he came back to the Panthers with Matt Rule. I think that was the last time the Panthers were a 500 football team. Okay, I think. Because I'm trying to think. Well, I know the year we had the year we had Sam Darnold. Okay, we went 3-0, and then we lost a bunch of games after that. So we were 500 at some point in that season as well. So that might have been the last. I can't remember what game it was exactly. All right, but the Panthers are back to 500. We won 2 in a row. Can we make it 3 in a row against the winless Jets this coming up Sunday in New York? Well, in New Jersey. All right. So, all right. So we'll talk about that on Saturday. Big Cuz will probably join me and we'll preview that game as well. Okay. So shout out to everybody who joined me tonight. I appreciate all the love and support. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the gifted memberships from Mr. Hunky Dory. Special shout out to Nakari for re-upping and becoming a member of the front office. All right. And not this week, but next week. Go ahead and let y'all know. We'll be giving away two more tickets to the Buffalo Bills game. Okay. So just like the last time, all right. If you want to join the co-GM tier here on YouTube, okay, will be automatically entered to win those tickets. If you're already a member of the co-GM tier on YouTube, you're automatically entered to win those tickets as well. All right. And if you want to shoot $10 to the Cash App, okay, when we do the drawing next Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, when we do the drawing next Saturday, you want to shoot $10 to the Cash App, that will automatically enter you for a chance to win those tickets to the Buffalo game as well. All right. Let me see. What Mr. Dory say? One thing, our 1 week break is coming in at the right time this year. Hold on. When is our bye is? Hold on. When is our bye week, y'all? No, I got the wrong one. Hold on. When is our bye week? Isn't it week 14, y'all? Yeah, between the Rams and the Saints game. Yeah, week 14. Yeah. Okay. All right. But again, thank y'all, everybody who has joined. And on your way out, if you would, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Okay. At the start of this video, I was 59 subscribers away from my goal of 2,000. All right. I appreciate all the love and support, no matter what platform you're watching on, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, or X. Make sure you hit that like and follow button as well. All right. And as always, Panther Nation, I'm gonna leave y'all. But what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna I'm gonna play the clip that I started the live with just in case y'all didn't see it. But let me go ahead and say this anyway. As always, Panther Nation, I'm gonna leave y'all with 3 things. Number 1, y'all be good. Number 2, y'all be safe. And number 3, as always, Panther Nation, keep pounding, man. I'll see ya. Hey, so this is what losing in Charlotte looks like. They go to Dallas Cowboys. Take your asses back to Texas. This ain't Texas. Y'all couldn't hold them. Take your ass to the airport. Peace out, motherfuckers.
I would like to record